Hello and welcome to another video on how to feel empowered by your own beauty. Not someone else's, but yours. Now what's that saying? Yes, it says love your imperfections. That's the one. Yes, love your imperfections. What's the other one? If you don't love your imperfections, someone else will. But let's try and think of it a little bit differently. What are imperfections? Why is a certain feature seen as imperfect? If it's doing its function, what's that part of the body or the feature of that body supposed to do, then why is it imperfect? I'll tell you why, or what I think is the fact that, again, we are being compared to a very narrow definition of beauty. If you've listened to my other videos, you know I'm always talking about a very narrow definition of beauty. Our features are being compared to a very, very narrow definition of beauty, and then it's seen as imperfect, even though we are told to love it anyway. But isn't it better if we don't see it as imperfect, but it's perfect as it is? And even a lot of the people that we admire as beautiful, as perfect, actually it's because they have presented themselves in that way as being beautiful or as being perfect, and so we see them as perfect. So the question is, why are we seeing that particular feature as imperfect? Is it because someone else has said it? Or is it because we are comparing ourselves, which obviously the answer is yes? And why did those people or some person somewhere say this feature is perfect and this is imperfect? Because basically it's just someone somewhere saying, this feature, the way it is, the shape, the color, the texture is actually perfect. But why is that person saying that? From what criteria is he speaking from, or is he using? And let's imagine this. If we didn't have a yardstick in which to measure ourselves, in which to measure how we look or how we are supposed to look, would we have an imperfection? If all we see and know about how we are supposed to look is what we see in the mirror, would we have an imperfection? I don't think so. So that's why I like to say, actually, there's nothing like imperfection. If your body functions normally the way it's supposed to, then there's nothing like imperfection. But if you want to insist that you have an imperfection, then maybe ask yourself again, why is my feature imperfect? What makes it imperfect? Is it because someone else has said it? And if they have said that this feature of mine is imperfect, why have they said it? What yardstick are they using? Who is the one that decided that this is the yardstick and this is how perfection is supposed to look? See, that is why I say there's nothing like imperfection. I actually like to think of it as perfect in a different way, or uniquely perfect. So instead of insisting that we are imperfect or you are imperfect, actually think of it as I am perfect differently, and use that time instead of trying to change a so-called imperfection or perfecting an imperfection. Embrace your different perfect, embrace your unique perfectness, and enjoy it and love it, and always say to yourself, because it's true, I am enough. Thank you for watching.